Many people think that liver problems are not worth worrying about and are solved with the help of cleansing pills and various diets, but this only aggravates the situation. In this video, a doctor of medical sciences, hepatologist, who has cured more than 1,000 patients, will tell you what drugs you will only kill the liver, what tests you should pay attention to, what you should not eat, and what inexpensive but effective supplements can really help to cure the liver. All the information in the video is interconnected, so watch to the end, because near the end of the video, the doctor will tell you his unique 6-step liver recovery program. If you want to become a master of your health, give us a like, and we'll get started. So let's get started. If you have skin problems, varicose veins, polycystic, endometriosis, hypothyroidism, abdominal bloating, chronic fatigue syndrome, frequent defecation, or if you have frequent constipation, these are all signs that you have liver problems. Over 500 biochemical processes in the body are regulated by the liver, and its influence on all internal organs cannot be underestimated. If the liver is not functioning properly, the thyroid gland fails as well. The cycle is disturbed, metabolism is disturbed, cholesterol and blood glucose levels rise. In almost all cases, problems with the liver arise because we began to live well. There appeared a lot of tasty, but not very useful food, and people often eat it in large quantities. Also came the fashion for all kinds of pills. If you have a headache, take a pill. If your stomach hurts, take a pill. But we must realize that any medicine has a serious toxic effect on the liver, and our liver is overloaded. Also, the negative impact is caused by eating a large number of highly processed foods, so-called semi-finished products, which contain a huge number of different chemical compounds necessary to maintain the marketability of the product. About half of all people in the world have problems with the liver, which in turn leads to diseases of other organs. To avoid this, it is necessary to diagnose liver problems in time. There are several symptoms to look out for, and they should not be ignored. Remember that any autoimmune diseases are associated with improper functioning of the liver. These include systemic lupus erythematosus, shingles, and psoriasis. Liver problems are also chronic fatigue syndrome, cracked heels, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, right subcostal pain, poor sleep, swelling, bad breath, and iron deficiency anemia. If you have any of the above, I recommend getting screened. I will also tell you about tests that you don't have to run right away to take. However, if you suspect something wrong, then yes, you will need to take them for additional testing. In the meantime, to understand the state of your liver, you need to take the following tests: coagulogram, general urine analysis, general blood analysis, biochemical analysis of blood, ALT/AST, bilirubin direct, indirect. And these tests do not need to hurry to pass. If anything, they can be taken additionally, separately, but this requires certain grounds and suspicions. Tests for markers of viral hepatitis A, B, C, D, immunoenzyme tests, and tests for oncomarkers. Now pay attention. In each table of tests, reference values of each analysis are indicated. That is, you can see for yourself if the result of your analysis falls within the reference values, that is, in the lower and upper limits, then in principle there is nothing wrong. You cannot worry. But if it is outside the limits, both to one side and to the other, then you should ask additional questions to your doctor. Now I am going to tell you about how liver diseases are improperly treated, why it is absolutely impossible to do this. Why should you not turn to these or those recipes of folk medicine? What can it lead to? In general, now about everything in detail. Usually liver diseases in the early stages are treated with hepatoprotectors. There are 3 types of them. The first type is hepatoprotectors based on plant preparations. This is mainly silymarin or milk thistle. The second group, hepatoprotectors based on phospholipids, such as esencial. The third group, hepatoprotectors based on amino acids, such as heptril. All 3 groups have a different direction of action, but we will not talk about it now. I want to say the following. Hepatoprotectors work only when there is a course of taking hepatoprotectors. That is, while you drink them, you get a little better, but as soon as you stop drinking them, everything goes back to normal. And there is another very important nuance here. Most pharmacy drugs, such as, for example, Essentiale or Carseal, contain a very small dose of the active ingredient, which means that the conclusion is simple. They work extremely weakly. About how to choose the right dosage, I will talk a little further in this video. Simply put, if the doctor pointed you, for example, Heptrol, an amino acid hepatoprotector, then in any case, while you are being treated, some results will be, but then everything will end. Yes, and I want to remind you that the third group of amino acid hepatoprotectors is prescribed exclusively by doctors. Do not resort to self-medication. The first and second groups of hepatoprotectors, they are, in principle, harmless. They can be taken for a course of up to 90 days, but again, it all depends on the dosage. If you take 100 milligrams of the active ingredient, there will be practically no benefit. If you take 1,000 milligrams, then the benefit, of course, will be, but still the effect of hepatoprotector will cease. There will not be it, and after the end of the reception, let's summarize. There will be no benefit, and discomfort, in principle, is provided. The feeling of pain and heaviness in the right subcostal area is almost always present when taking hepatoprotectors. The whole point is that hepatoprotectors force the liver to activate, make it more actively secrete enzymes, and very often it cannot do this because the body, let's say, dehydrated, loses the opportunity to start the normal work of the liver. Now, a little about folk medicine. All sorts of smoothies, cocktails, various detox programs. In fact, this is just a deception, and nothing good will come from them. Yes, there will be no benefit, and harm, as a rule, too, unless you use something so exotic. I would also like to note a very important point. The fact is that any stimulation of the liver, any hepatoprotector or any drug that is partly a hepatoprotector or has such properties, makes the liver work better, more active. But in most cases, there is a situation where the liver is not working actively precisely because the immune system is weakened. It can't fulfill its functions, and so it reduces them, limits them. It becomes dysfunctional. Simply put, your liver is not ready to work now because it is weakened. It is afraid of external factors, viruses, bacteria, germs. It is a big problem for it, and it works worse. Any stimulation of the liver increases the blood flow through it, respectively. Through this blood flow, more various toxic compounds get into the liver as a filter, which we again consume with food, inhale with air or otherwise. And with such stimulation, with such actions, it is easy to catch any virus. And here you have viral hepatitis A. This is a serious problem. The same goes for the procedure of tubage. There is such a procedure, and it is often used in traditional folk medicine. In general, I do not recommend that you use any folk methods of liver cleansing, because it can lead to very serious consequences. It is even worse when you use some cleansers, detoxifiers, hepatoprotectors, and at the same time drink alcohol or take some medical drugs, some pills. They have a huge toxic effect on the liver, and the liver obviously did not expect such a blow, so it will resist. And you will constantly experience discomfort and painful sensations in the liver area. Most doctors, unfortunately, are not interested in the complete cure of the patient because it is a long process and the effect will not be seen immediately. Therefore, pills are prescribed that only treat and give a quick pseudo result, but this only aggravates the situation for the patient. In addition, many pharmacological companies are simply profitable so that you take pills longer. Attention! Now I'm going to talk about how to properly treat the liver to make it easier for you to absorb the information. I have broken the treatment down into several steps. Step number 1. First of all, you need to eliminate fructose. Just eliminate it in any form. The thing is, fructose is broken down in the liver. It is metabolized very quickly by the body and creates fat deposits in the liver. Therefore, fructose should be excluded completely. Young and active people can consume products with fructose, as their body burns it quickly. People with sedentary lifestyles, those who sit on the couch, fructose should be excluded. Step number 2. You need to establish a drinking regimen. Now, I'm going to explain in simple words what you need to do. Everyone has probably heard that you need to drink more water. That water is vital for the body. Yes, it's true, but not all water we can drink. For example, water with a low pH, well, pH 6.5, is not desirable to drink. Yes, it's true. And you've probably noticed that somewhere in one city, the water tastes good and is easy to drink, and somewhere in another city, not so much. It doesn't have the right flavor. It's all about the pH of the water. Of course, water has many different parameters, both surface tension parameters and pH of water, but we won't pay attention to that. But what you should pay attention to, and what you should do right now, is start drinking water that has a pH level of 7.5 to. When you buy water at the store, pay attention to the label. It says the pH level of the water, and it should be around 7.5 from 2. This means that such water is maximally bioavailable, gets into the blood. And so start drinking such water and drink it for at least 2 weeks, and you will notice an improvement in your health. Step number 3. Start taking black cumin oil 1 teaspoon once a day 10 minutes before meals. Black cumin oil is a powerful, safe antioxidant and has no side effects. You can increase your dose of black cumin oil to 2 spoonfuls per day. You can also start taking selenium in the form of selenomethionine 100 mcg per day for a course of no more than 60 days to regenerate the liver, building its new cells. The liver needs lecithin like air. These are phospholipids. So you can also start taking lecithin in a dosage of 1 gram to 2 grams per day. MCM organic sulfur will also protect the liver from external threats. It should also be taken in a dose of 2,000 milligrams per day. You can take it at any time of the day or night. Supplements such as taurine, 1,000 milligrams per day, and methionine, 1,000 milligrams per day, are also good hepatoprotectants. Milk thistle or its active ingredient silymarin. Silymarin should be taken 30 minutes before meals. It is very good at helping the liver repair itself. Schalin is vitamin B4, 500 milligrams a day. Also folic acid, it is vitamin B9. You should take 500 milligrams a day. It will be a very good dosage for the liver. Artichoke is also a very good liver repair supplement. You need to take it a day, about 1 g. It's artichoke extract. I want to emphasize right away that no supplement works without the actions I mentioned earlier. You definitely need to take away the fructose. You definitely need to restore your water balance. You also need to add activity if possible, but I emphasize activity should be moderate. You don't need to force yourself if you already have liver problems. Remember that your liver is working extremely unproductively. There is a noticeably slow blood flow in the liver because the liver can't get that volume of blood through it. And any activity will create additional discomfort in the right subcostal area. Therefore, activity should be as much as possible. If you cannot sit and do something, it is better to do than just sit. And importantly, I almost forgot to mention this. You should definitely eliminate heavy snacks from your diet. There should be a certain fixed number of meals. And if you feel like that snack is insignificant, some small, 2 or 3 cookies, sweet tea, something like that, you still need to eliminate it. Step number 4. To better cleanse your liver, you need to add enough fiber to your diet. Fiber is raw vegetables. If you can't eat enough vegetables, for example, if you live in a region where vegetables are not as readily available, then use psyllium, for example. It's the husk of the plantain, a great fiber. And you can buy in the pharmacy ordinary bran, no matter wheat or rye, they will also have excellent fiber. The fact is that fiber, getting into the intestines, absorbs all the toxic compounds and removes them from the body naturally. If there is not enough fiber, then most of the toxins through the large intestine will return to the blood and get into the liver, creating additional problems for it. Step number 5. Do not give up the consumption of fats. Fats should be present in the diet. It is fats that stimulate the outflow of bile, and together with bile, the liver is unloaded. It gives all the toxins to the bile. Bile, when eating fats, enters the intestine and is further absorbed with fiber naturally and sent to the toilet. And if you do not eat fats, for example, someone frightened you, said that you cannot eat fatty foods with liver problems, then the bile will drain extremely badly. Stones and polyps will form in the gallbladder, and it will not lead to anything good. Step number 6, a very important step. Try to be in the fresh air more. Learn to breathe. There are a large number of breathing techniques. No matter which one you choose, pick at least a few of them and just start breathing when you're out in nature. Just do breathing practices. The fact is that with any such intense breathing, the blood is better oxygenated, and our liver uses 10 times more oxygen than all of our muscles. And the liver needs that oxygen to carry out all of its biochemical processes. Simply put, if there is oxygen, the biochemical processes are better. If there is no oxygen, the biochemical processes in the liver are worse. By following these simple steps, you will already significantly improve the health of your liver. More information on this topic you will find on our channel. Subscribe and turn on the bell for all notifications. Please like and share this video with your friends. Thank you to our sponsors for your support. I look forward to your comments and encourage you to watch these helpful videos.